Thank you all for being here. Good afternoon. My name is Egan O'Ryan. I'm the Executive Director of the Broadway Business Improvement Area. And with me here today, we have representatives from the Greater Seattle Business Association, and more importantly, small business owners from here on Capitol Hill and throughout the city. What most of us have been hearing about in regards to the spread of the coronavirus, rightly so, is the public health crisis. But there's another crisis that we're experiencing, and that's the financial impact crisis, affecting both individuals and businesses. We're here today to sound the alarm about the dramatic impact the crisis is having on our small businesses and the tens of thousands of employees that work for them. And we're already seeing the impact. Just in the last week, we've seen several businesses close for service in order to wait out the crisis. Yesterday, we learned that 3 restaurants will be closing their doors permanently, and you'll hear from one of those business owners here today. In the weeks to come, if nothing is done to address the financial impact of the crisis on small business, you will see dozens more close. And if this goes on for months, you'll see hundreds more close. Businesses that will permanently shutter their doors and alter the landscape of our neighborhoods forever. I want to thank the mayor for her leadership on all this, on what we do in the days to come. Today you'll be hearing the stories of how business owners are impacted by the crisis and what people can do to support their neighborhood businesses. And with that, I'd like to hand it off to Tamara Murphy, co-owner of Terra Plata.
Thanks, Egan. So I'm going to try to get through this without being a little too shaky, because I feel like my heart's about to beat out of my chest right now. You know, as you know, I've been in the Seattle restaurant industry for almost 3 decades. And so I've seen a lot. I've seen WTO, I've seen the .com crash, I've been through 9/11, 2 recessions, and I'm going to tell you right now that I have never seen anything like this. This is like a tsunami. I liken it to a wild forest fire that is just whipping through our communities, and a few trees will be left standing, but I kind of wonder what they're going to look like. There are so many different sectors, not only the hospitality industry, that are being affected, and the ripple effect is enormous. It's probably greater than any one thing. You have caterers that are losing millions of dollars in the city. We have events that have been canceled through April and May. You have a downtown core that relies massively on business conventions, large parties, and they have all canceled, and that's why you've seen one restaurant group shutter all of its doors, because it lost its entire customer base in just a couple of days. The other effects of that are downtown. When you go into the hotels, the valets are losing their jobs, the concierges are losing their jobs, our health professionals or insurance people that work on our insurance for our family and for our restaurant family, the phone has stopped ringing. I cannot think of one sector that's not extremely affected by this, and it's going to take. I think the landscape definitely has changed forever, and that's not. You know, I'm not mincing words, and I'm not trying to be an alarmist. It is. As I've been in the community for so long, I'm getting text after text after text. We have till April, maybe. But if the problem is we don't have any end in sight, so people have to make decisions that are best for their lives, their family. Should I just shut it now? Or do I wait till April when I have absolutely nothing left? And that's where we're at. So businesses are having to make extremely difficult decisions so that if they do have resources, honestly, they can't spend them now. We can't spend them because we don't know how long this is going to be. So we're in crisis mode. So, that's what I have to say. And I really appreciate the leadership right now. And, we just we're in it together, that's for sure. And then, Ryan, come on up.
Thank you, Egan, for supporting us. My name's Ryan. I own a Reba Cantina over in Ravenna. On Tuesday this week, I had to announce that we are closing our doors permanently. Last week was our 1-year anniversary, and we were so excited for it. And we ended up having to cancel our event because all of our reservations for the night had canceled. Unfortunately, when looking at our finances, I just couldn't continue on and not be able to pay our employees. They're our family. We in the restaurant industry talk about our staff as our family. It's true. All of them have stood by us day in, day out, through thick and thin, and it's going to be hard to see them go. I'm here today to just ask everybody in the city of Seattle, this is a crisis. We're in it. We're all in it together. Seattle's a great city. I moved here from the Bay Area because I saw how amazing this place is. And I just know that if you have a favorite coffee shop, a favorite restaurant that you go to once a week, please just go buy a gift card, do something to get them through this trying time. If you don't want to go out, order online, go through Uber Eats, go through anything. Just support those businesses, help them get through, because if they disappear, then our communities are going to really suffer. So just hope that everybody can kind of get through this. Our hearts go out to those who have lost loved ones, or lost their lives, or are battling the coronavirus. But please get out there, support everybody. All these people behind me depend on you. All of your neighborhoods depend on you, your communities depend on you, and please just get out there and support them. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Donna Moody and I own Marjorie Restaurant, and I'd just like to say that I think small businesses are part of the fabric of our city. They give it its color, its flair, and its personality. I think it's really important that we come together as a community to support the ecosystem that small businesses are an integral part of. That ecosystem is made up of farmers, it's made up of distributors, winemakers, wine salespeople, delivery people, waiters, people that are baristas, all people that are looking for a reliable income with a little bit of knowledge of what kind of support we're going to get from the city, from the state, from the county, and on a national level. It's definitely a time of crisis. There's a really great need, and I think that people really need to come together to support what we have and what it will look like as time goes on. I just think it's a really important time for a community to be supportive of what it is that makes Seattle, Seattle.
Hello, my name is Erin Andrews. I am the founder of Indie Chocolate. I am the chocolate maker of Pike Place Market. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening, because this is the face of small business. This does impact your communities, and it impacts the people that work for us, the people that we work with as well. So it's a really big ripple, and I ask that you really take the time and support small business to keep Seattle working. It's really, really important right now, and I hope that you can either visit us or give us a gift card or online sales. Anything that you can do makes a big ripple right now and is very much appreciated by these small businesses. So thank you, and we will look forward to any and all support that we can get right now. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Greg Holcomb, and I own. Well, first off, let me just say I love restaurants. This is too low. It is an honor and a privilege that I have, that not a lot of people have, to be able to come to work every day and get to serve the community. I've loved restaurants all my life, and I opened Witness 6 years ago, 6.5, and got to a point where it was kind of stable. And you know, that is my neighborhood. North Broadway is my wife and I got married at All Pilgrims Church back in 2001. I have a condo right there. I love that neighborhood so much, and for years I would walk by and see the old Broadway grill space empty and vacant and realize what a tear in the fabric of our community existed there. When I had the opportunity with my wife and my chef for witness, Jesse Elliott, and his wife, Lisa Tomlinson, to leverage everything that we had to open up a new restaurant in that space, we took it blindly and jumped in July of last year. We signed a lease and worked very hard to turn that space around and get it open. And then, the construction delay, we opened December 21st. Not the best time to open a new restaurant, but we were hopeful that all we had to do was make it to spring and the people will come in and we'll get it. Well, spring is here and no one's coming in. It's a large space, it's very hard. So my ask for today is that the city and federal or whoever, private, public, whoever has funds right now to come in and help support small business, especially new business. I've already taken out an SBA loan. I've taken out all the loans I can. I'm looking at additional crazy interest rate loans just to try and make it past this thing into summer. So whatever support you can give to especially vulnerable minority businesses, new businesses, anything that you can do to help, public or private, now's the time.
Hi, I'm Christy Lillard. I own Laughing Buddha Tattoo and Body Piercing, Damask Tattoo and Body Piercing, and Sea City Tattoo and Body Piercing. So 3 tattoo and body piercing studios. My main mission is to create amazing jobs for people in that industry. Jobs that actually provide insurance and paid sick leave and the things that I didn't have when I worked for other studios. We just lost our lease, so we had to find a new location. We just moved into our last location 3 years ago. It's over $100,000 every time we move. So all of the money that we had set aside for any kind of an emergency is now being used for the emergency of having to move. And now there's this emergency on top of that. I'm on the lease for 2 years. I had to personally guarantee it. So even if my business closes, I have to pay 2 years of rent on a commercial space on Capitol Hill, which is incredibly high. I just want to take care of the people that I work with, and I want to take care of our clients. It's not just the people that we work with that are our family, it's also our clients. We see them all the time. We develop relationships with them. They tell us our problems while they're sitting in our chairs. And we want to take care of them, and this is a very, very luxury industry. So if people lose their jobs, they're not going to go get a tattoo, they're going to try to buy food, hopefully at one of your restaurants. So my ask is just that if people are feeling well, to please come out and support small businesses. We know all about cross-contamination in my industry, so we've been elbow bumping for a long time. And please just get out and support people and take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christy Brown, and I'm the co-owner of That Brown Girl Cooks, and soon to open a restaurant on 24th and Union called Communion. Just left a meeting from my staff that we had to lay off on Monday because as of Saturday, we had lost over $50,000 in revenue for 1 month. This is devastating, but we will not quit. We will not quit. I have been in this industry for 30 years. I will not quit. This is not the first time we've been through it. We're talking about all the different things. I don't know what we have to do, but we will not quit. And our theme for today was lean in. And everyone's already echoed the ideal that you need to support the communities, the businesses that you've always supported, and that's really, really important. But I think what's also important is leaning into your community. There's a lot of people that cannot afford to go out to eat anymore. There's a lot of people that are gonna go to the grocery store and continue to find out that there's no toilet tissue. Like, we're talking about basic necessities right now. I went to cash and carry today. there was no rice, there was no beans, there was barely any vegetables. And so I'm not an alarmist either, low-key. But what I do know is that it's important for us as we build and continue to build community that we lean in with each other and find out what each other needs. Because whatever happens, whether this is over in 2 weeks and we all go back to normal, or if this is just something that this is the new way of our living, we're gonna have to depend on each other. And I'm super duper grateful for Donna. I'm super duper grateful for Tamara and Louise and all of this community that surrounds us so that we can figure out how to do this, because there's no one answer. And so that is just going to have to cause us to tighten up these ranks a slew more than what we've ever done before. So I'm super grateful to have this opportunity, and I look forward to coming up with solutions with everybody, because that's what we're going to have to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Christy Brown is awesome. I am Linda DeLilla Morton. I co-own Terra Plata with my partner, Tamara Murphy. And I've known Tamara since the mid-90s. I watched the whole cycle of her leaving Campania, opening up Barassa, living through, the dot-com crisis and 9/11 and WTO and all the things that impacted everybody, but especially the hospitality industry. And this is absolutely unprecedented. It's been an interesting week. As every day goes by, we've learned of more restaurant closures, a lot of layoffs, and it's not, it's really slow, what should we do to ramp up business? It's how many payroll cycles do I have before we're completely insolvent? So it's a different situation that we're in. And what I'm grateful for is that we have amazing electeds that have stepped up and been just awesome leaders, from our governor, the Employment Security Department. They swiftly made changes to support our workers and to make sure that people get unemployment and get paid in this time of need. King County Health has been awesome. I think it's really important to make sure that we're following the guidelines that they put out there. And I'm especially grateful for our mayor, for Mayor Jenny Durkin. She acted swiftly, and with the Office of Economic Development, she put out a plan just yesterday to help support for small businesses. It's going to take more than this first step, and it is, I think this is just the beginning. And we do need to get a handle on this crisis, but as Christy said, what's most important is that we lean into each other and that we support our community right now. And our community is full of small businesses, our workers, individuals that are able to work from home, which is great, and others, businesses and people that are not. I mean, the hospitality industry has been especially affected because it's a public-facing business, right? We depend on tourism, we depend on people traveling to Seattle. That has been shut down. We get a lot of business from the Paramount. That's been shut down. And I think it's most important that we all stay safe and we stay healthy. But in terms of looking at the long run, how we work through this together as a city and as a community, it's going to be really important that we just take a step back and figure out all the ways that we can support each other. And other ideas in supporting your small businesses in the local hospitality industry, I think gift cards are a great way that can bring revenue into our businesses and keep the fabric of our community alive, hopefully, and then pay it forward for the future. So I'm going to pass it off to Louise Turnan.
Hi everybody, thanks for being here, and thanks always to Tamara and to Linda and Terra Plata for being our community gathering space. It's very appropriate that we are here in a crisis because we also come here to celebrate many, many things. I am the President and CEO of GSBA. We're Washington State's LGBTQ and Allied Chamber of Commerce, and we also represent the Capitol Hill Business Alliance. We are facing a really grave threat in our community. And as an LGBTQ chamber, I can tell you we have weathered other incredible threats in our community. And we knew what we had to do. And the biggest way we fought that was to come together, to take care of each other, to step up before elected officials would step up, before anybody would step up. We step up for each other. So with our 1,400 businesses and all the small businesses in our community, we are going to do that. But what happens when you arrive at your place and you go, I have to cut hours. I have to cut my employees' hours. I might have to close down temporarily. I might have to shut my doors. And I think what we need to really think about when this is over, and it will be over, there might be other crises coming, what will Seattle look like if we have lost our heart and soul? And so I think it is so very important to know that we are the economic engine. Sometimes that's forgotten. We are the ones that employ the people in your community. We give money to the nonprofits for their fundraisers, all of which have been canceled. We are those who you turn to when you need a break, when you need a night out, when you need to gather. So let's do what we do best, which is come together, to be compassionate, to not scapegoat anybody, to make sure that we know diseases can start anywhere, in any country, and hit any person and be transmitted to anybody. Nobody is at fault but the virus itself. And so the way to handle it is how we are doing it already. I do commend, as others said, our governor has been swift. Our King County Executive, Dow Constantine, has, and our mayor has stepped up, especially in the last couple of days, forming the first ever Small Business Recovery Task Force. And that will look at everything from delaying your B&O taxes, to being able to pay your taxes late without a penalty, to looking and working with the SBA on different kinds of loans than they've ever provided before, to the state saying you could apply for unemployment insurance, to our safe and sick leave policies, to our family leave policy. We are a state that we can be proud has some of the most progressive policies for workplaces in the United States, and we need that more than ever. But we also need to be able to stay in business, because if people do not have their incomes and their paychecks, the ripple effect in everything we know will change life forever. So this is our time to stand up, as we always have, especially in Washington and most especially in Seattle. I'm proud to work with all of you. I believe, like we have before, we will address this and then we will figure out how to rebuild. But we will do it together. We will do it thoughtfully, safely, take care of each other, take care of our families and our children, and also understand when fear becomes too much and too much hysteria. So we're not going to give up life as we know it. It is very important that we continue to patronize safely, however people feel safe. And if you can't go in person, you can buy those gift cards. You can also buy online. And I'm hoping the city of Seattle will go one step further and eliminate parking lot fees, so that people who are afraid to go on public transportation can take their cars and come to their places downtown, on Capitol Hill, and wherever else. This is the time when electeds and business and nonprofits and labor have to speak with one voice, one community, and let's work and fight this together. And thank all the small businesses who not only came here today, but are figuring out how to take care of the thousands and thousands of employees that rely on them for their daily paycheck. Thank you.
Do we have any questions from press in attendance here? Justin Carter.
I don't know about the mic. Oh, Purell on the mic. So question, there's no presence of like a landlord or building owner here, and I think that they're clearly going to play a really big part in what comes next. So what is this group, or any efforts that you know about in the city right now to deal with landlords, talk with them about making it through this, because they're key, it seems like.
I'll speak to that since I am in Pike Place Market. Actually, Pike Place Market is working on that right now. That is something that they are working on and taking steps on that right now.
I can also say, I can't speak to specifics, but I also know that Amazon did a pass for the month of March for rent for all of their tenants that are in their building. I don't know much more than that.
Nothing with, I mean, you have a gigantic property owner now.
We do.
And it seems like the
Yeah.
decimal point for them to help you.
Absolutely. It's sort of the next step to talk to them. It's on our list. We've literally been reeling the last 48 hours. Every day has been, it's been ever changing. Like business has been like declining rapidly. It's not been a slow decline from one day to the next. The landscape has just been changing. And so we've been trying to stay on top of it, talking to people and trying to figure out, what the next step is, and assessing our forecasting, our budgets. Like Ryan said, he woke up one day and payroll was like right there. And so, but I think landlords do need to step up. And there might be some other ideas that may or may not have been entertained. Property taxes are a huge part of our triple net. And if there could be some sort of either deferment or landlords considering starting to not always include property taxes in our triple net rent expense, because that's a huge percentage of our rent. So.
Yeah, go for it.
So I guess the other part is, comments readers are going to say, well, why not just close down for a couple weeks? Why not just hunker down, get through this period where they're trying to flatten the curve? So maybe talk to that. Why not just shutter basically for 2 or 3 weeks to get through this?
Because that's not really an option, because your bills don't stop. The bills don't stop. Like, the fact that we're in the process of opening up a restaurant, there are construction people on site right now painting. I can't stop them. I still got to pay regardless if they paint or not. So the option to put it on pause, I think that definitely you can change your mindset around how you're gonna to activate a plan. You're gonna have to, because nothing you've ever done before will work. Marketing, all of those things take a responsive group to make it actually work. So I think that right now, those kinds of things are not options, but I think that those communication lines with the landlords, with the city, I feel like everybody's been so open to hearing about different options that's what we really need to think about, as opposed to looking at the business owners to do something about it when we totally were unaware that this could ever happen.
And did I understand correctly, you had to lay off all of your staff?
We did. Unfortunately, like what you're saying with the employment security, we were able to take part in, or at least apply for, the shared work program, and we're still waiting to hear back from that. But in the meantime, we can't keep generating a payroll when we don't have anything on the books for the next month and a half.
Sorry, and about how many people is that?
7 right now.
Sorry, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to speak to that question directly because I am a landlord of a house. I live in a duplex that I rent out the other side, and what I think of when I think of closing for 2 weeks is how that snowballs, and that if my people are not working, they're not getting paid, and their rent doesn't stop. They still have to pay rent. As a landlord, the rent that I charge goes directly to paying my mortgage. I actually pay to make up the difference because I don't charge my tenant the entire mortgage payment. So not all landlords are rich, and not all landlords can just say, don't worry about it this month. I cannot tell my tenant to not pay rent because then I can't pay my mortgage. And if my business is closed for 2 weeks, I'm not getting paid. So it snowballs from there. People are not in a position to just say, we'll just shut down until this blows over. Like, there's way too much at stake, and there's way too many people who are relying on these jobs.
Sure. But even Governor Inslee this morning said he did not want to see people shoulder to shoulder in bars, which I thought was an unfortunate line, maybe in all of it. I think it's going to be pretty difficult to make that happen and to also help your businesses. So I don't know if there's something that you could say to that.
I'd love to speak to that on a couple of levels. I also work at Capitol Hill Housing, and we have a lot of tenants in the retail area of the buildings that we have that are affordable housing buildings. And one of the key elements of restaurants, gathering places, and so many retail businesses is that we feed communities. We are gathering places for people that are going stir crazy, and yes, we can change and alter and have practices that are extremely safe. We can wipe surfaces down 20, 30, 40 extra times. We can wear gloves more often. We can have Purell on the counter when we can find it at supply stores. But basically, to shut your doors to the community that you serve all the time, where people come when they're in need, not just for food and for a meal, but for an experience of finding out what's going on, sharing news, supporting each other, sharing stories, finding out who needs help. Like, we're the meeting place where you come to figure out what else you can do in your community to make your community better. So to shut our doors isn't like just taking one for the team. It's closing a door for communication between the members of a community that are who we are.
The Indie of Indie Chocolate is my daughter. And so shutting the doors as a wife, a mother, the breadwinner, it makes a huge impact to my family, to my workers, to the community that does come to Indie Chocolate. We've always been a place for people to come together. I built the business after being a stay-at-home parent for 7.5 years and wanting a place to kind of melt the Seattle ice and have a place where people can come together, where people can enjoy chocolate and coffee and tea and chocolate. But it is really important to continue to be a community. The reason I came into Pike Place Market is because it is a community, and I think that most people think of it as a tourist destination, not that the true community that Pike Place Market really is, that it's housing, that's low income housing, it's senior housing, it's food banks, it's low cost medical clinics, it's a community center. There are so many resources that the Market Foundation does. Supporting the market is supporting your community, because the market does support our community. So it's not one person shutting their doors, it's the impacts and the ripples, and it's the companies that I work with that I both support, and they support me as well. So it's not one person shutting their doors, it's really impacting community, and it's really impacting our ability to keep Seattle working. And so it's really important that we do find solutions to keep our doors open.
This is a hot topic. So from an economic standpoint, right? And we've heard from some businesses that have shut down, and they said hopefully we will open in a couple of months. Well, the economic decision to do that is huge. To basically what you're doing, even if it's temporarily, you're basically shutting your business down. You're going to inevitably lose employees. There's a flow. Restaurants are living, breathing things, and when you take the oxygen away, it dies. So everyone is in a different kind of situation. They have to make their own choices about if they can totally walk away from their business for however long, because who knows however long. Events have been canceled since up and through April, so in May. So it is a huge, you lose your employees, you lose your food, you have to basically restart. So it is absolutely an economic challenge to do that.
All right. Thank you very much for coming out, everyone. I hope that there's one takeaway that people will take from this press conference, and by hearing the stories of these small business owners, is that there is urgency. With every passing day, you're going to see more businesses at risk of shutting down. So whether you're in government, one of our elected officials, or you're in a community and you don't want to see your local small businesses go away, now is the time to act, to shore up those businesses, to make sure that when we get to the end of the crisis, that our communities are intact. Thank you.